Rob Krar, this beard or lack thereof is for you.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the beardless Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. I'm pretty pleased with today's review. I'm excited about it. It's a shoe that I've been running in actually quite a bit in the last few months. All the way from the North Face, it is the Flight RKT, or Rob Krar Trail, Rob Gnome Time, Rob Kardashian Tennis. Not it. This is the brand new shoe from the North Face that was made in collaboration with ultra running superstar Rob Krar. Frankly, I'm a bit disappointed the shoe didn't come with a beard, as I could use one again, but it's a fun shoe nonetheless. Now, the North Face hasn't always been known for their footwear. There's been a couple of pairs that I've reviewed in the past that I have enjoyed, the Endurus TR Ultra Cardiac, but this time we get to see a collaboration from a big brand and one of their athletes that they sponsor, and the product that came as a result is fun. I think it's pretty special, so let's talk a bit about it. The Flight RKT is a lightweight, reduced trail runner designed with enough comfort and responsiveness to help you crush the trails, training, and racing. I will tell you that the shoe is definitely geared and designed more towards race day performance. 10mm, 18mm stack heights with an 8mm drop. Pretty steep drop, you don't really notice it while trail running. It's a one-piece mesh upper with TPU overlays to help really lock down that midfoot. Super simple design, super fun. I would almost go as far as to say that the Flight RKT is really reminiscent of the Patagonia Everlong trail runner shoe from yesteryear, which I reviewed and really enjoyed. I considered that shoe the Kinvara of the trail. It is also no longer available, completely discontinued, but good luck finding that one. So does that moniker transfer over to the Flight RKT? Is this that lightweight racing trail shoe that we've all been lusting after? It certainly fits the bill, but there are things I dislike. I'm going to get to all of it in today's review. We like to talk about the things we like and dislike, as always with the shoes. Let's start with the things that I like. Quick. The reduced stack height helps keep you quick on your feet, lightweight, moving forward, feeling fast. That in cooperation with the responsive midsole keeps things moving nimbly. It's a shoe designed in partnership with one of the fastest ultra dudes on earth. I can't help but think that I look and feel as graceful as the one and only Rob Krar when I run in these things. It's not true, I don't. But if my mind thinks it must be true. Midsole. The fast foam EVA midsole material is a delight. It's dual layer, so you can feel the softness of the bottom layer and the responsiveness of the top layer. It really has a great sensation throughout the shoe and throughout your foot strike. I don't necessarily see the shoe working for someone of my body shape or size in a distance longer than 15 miles. But if you're in that 150-pound super fast boy body elite shape, then this thing could really work well for you. As for this beautiful piece, anything short and fast, that's where I'll tend to grab the shoe. It's awesome. The insole. The Ortholite insole is a nice touch with this shoe. Not only do you have the aerated holes, which reduce weight and also improve breathability, but the added cushion, density, and comfort of the insole go a long way in this shoe. In fact, this provides a lot of the structure underfoot. It gives you a lot more comfort, stability, and joy. And finally, grip. When I opened the box, pulled out the shoe, I actually thought it was a road shoe. You have a potted outsole with minimal lug action. The truth is, this shoe gripped a lot better than I anticipated, especially up here in the Pacific Northwest trails. Loose dirt, roots, rocks, everything. The shoe actually does pretty damn well. And the outsole durability, also holding up really well. That being said, it's not all kitten tails and butterfingers. There are a couple of things I dislike about the Flight RKT. Let's get to those details. So this is where the shoe really begins to suffer. The hole is awesome. It's the parts that make up the hole that definitely deserve a bit more attention. Underneath my insole layer, just in the strobel layer, I'm already getting splitting and various elements coming apart. With just over 50 miles in the shoe, that's entirely too premature. Can't feel it, but is that a sign of things to come? The tongue is also a super lightweight, thin piece of mesh that just flops around in the shoe. Anytime you try to get the shoe on, it folds under, it buckles, and it causes a whole mess of headaches just trying to get it flattened out over the top of your foot. You don't want to get any hot spots, of course. The tongue just drives me crazy. And then let's talk about the laces. They're entirely too short. Both shoes, I have a really hard time actually just getting a good double knot on the top. And one of the shoe's laces is 8 inches shorter than the other. Attention to details. The shoe could really use some. The runs feel great. The shoe drives me nuts. Durability. So the outsole is actually doing really well. It's holding up decently. It's the rest of the shoe that I'm concerned about. I talked about the splitting and the strobel at the top. The mesh is okay, though it does show signs of wear. The midsole's not entirely breaking down, but I am feeling it flatten out a little bit. I just feel like with maybe 50 to 60 miles on the shoe, it's early. That's why to me this shoe is really a race day grab, something that you're going to use for those days where it matters. Weight. The North Face markets this shoe as featherweight, something geared strictly for racing. The reality is, in my size 11, it's 9.1 ounces. That's actually not far off from the Hoka Nepali that I recently reviewed, so I would not consider this featherweight. I'd consider it normal weight. And finally, price. $150 US is pretty pricey to pay for a shoe that I think goes into your race cabinet. It's a great shoe. It's speedy. But that's a lot of money. Regardless, that's it for my dislikes with the shoe. As I mentioned, it is fun. I'm having a really good time running in this shoe for the distances under 15 miles or days that I really want to go fast, or at least feel like I'm trying to go fast. I love it. So what's my conclusion? Rob's influence in this shoe is obvious, and it's awesome. It's a fast shoe shaped and designed to be comfortable and move quickly on Flagstaff-like trails where he does all of his training. It is a fairly low stack height with an 8mm drop. You, again, won't necessarily notice that on trails because of the uneven surfaces. I wish there was a bit more stack height in the shoe. I think the midsole's a really fun material and could benefit from additional cushioning. In this case, it's a shoe I get a ton of joy from. It is expensive, and I would say event specific. Getting into more detail, build quality, I think the overall shoe is really good, but the ingredients that went to make the recipe are of varying degrees of good quality. You got the tongue, the lacing issues, the splitting issues. A lot of the details need attention. Comfort. For racing or going fast, this shoe rates right up there for me with the Solomon Sense Ride from last year. I really enjoyed that shoe. I think this shoe is in that similar caliber. Fit, it does lean towards the tighter end, so you may want to size up a half a size. I'm a size 11 and the shoe fits just barely, but it is a forgiving upper, so it does have moments of stretch. It's not an uncomfortable toe box. Overall fit is actually pretty solid. Price, $150. Is a lot. Of course, that's subjective, but the reality is it's a shoe that I'm going to say is great for race days. Therefore, $150 is a lot of money to spend. Just make note. And finally, looks. They call this Flagstaff Storm. I'm going to say I appreciate the sublimation of the graphic here. I do think it looks a cross between camouflage and sweat stain. Interesting, or perhaps unique. So that brings us to our final point, is the Flight RKT, a buy, a try, or a why. Solid try. I thoroughly think that if you want to go fast on the trails and have some fun while doing it, you should give this shoe a shot. At that point, you can determine if you can afford the $150. Hell, you might even just set yourself a course record or fastest known time. I, of course, cannot promise that, and neither can Rob. And that, my friends, is it for today's review of the Flight RKT. Have you run in the shoe? Have you heard of it? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments of this video. And of course, if you want to find out more information about the shoe or get a pair for yourself, I have a link in the description over to Running Warehouse where you can do just that. All right, my friends, that's it. If you like this review, make sure you like, favorite, subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner, and social media. That's a thing. So that, my friends, is it. I encourage you to get out there, train hard, race harder, and part of the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week for more fun reviews, films. Oh, some fun stuff ahead. We'll see you then. Okay, bye-bye.